Oh hey, just realised that because I had set up a advert, I had to press go live on the page. Sorry about that. Took me a while to figure out what was going on there. Right, let me just get my bearings here. So I'm going to start with this guy's video. This is a guy called Dave McKeegan, who, as you will see from the comments that I'll show you, is not a very honest chap. Neither is Craig McNeil Fight the Flat Earth, but we already knew that. So again, this is for people who may not comprehend this type of thing. But this is to show the impossibility of what these people are claiming. Well, let me just get through a couple of things for you. Let me see here. Hello everybody in the chat. So if we go and we look at something like this. Right. So we'll look at these images here, right? And we see this quite a lot of the time. Now, you know, we've got balloon footage also from some of these people, you know, like this, who are claiming this is Earth curve, right? Now, the question that you have to put to these people, again, before we go any further, you know, the shape of the Earth, as far as I'm concerned, is established by the geometric applications that we have in everyday life, that being Euclidean. Also, the fundamental, you know, behaviour of water, the most abundant substance known to us. It's very definite, it's very true, you know, it establishes a nice horizontal level, that being, you know, equal elevation from any given point upon the surface of the plane to any other given point on the surface of the plane, level. Okay? Same height from point A to any other point. Okay? That's your relative position. That establishes level. So, you know, the Earth's not a globe. So it's just a matter of, you know, constantly tearing apart this religious cult and what they take to be true and things that they claim. So I've just showed you that there. So it's akin to, you know, and again, the question that relative to these images that you're seeing is, you know, are they claiming that what we're witnessing is a vertical? So this is the point that they keep missing, right? A vertical curve of the Earth. That being that, you know, from your vantage point, you have an arc in front of you like this, a vertical curve, right? As you can see, if I take this up to the camera, you can see the very same effect, right? So other questions then have to come in. So what are they actually showing or claiming then? Are they claiming that the Earth's now a disc and that we can see the edge? As we elevate up, we can see the edge? Or, same is true if it was a ball. Are they claiming at their tiny little vantage point that they're seeing the equator of their ball? Right? Because even if you're here and you're seeing a circle of vision here, right, then there's all this that goes out further. So as they went up a bit further, it would extend out. The circles would increase, right? Because in reality, that's all you would see if you lived on a ball. Because if you lived on a ball, regardless of where you're orientated at the top, if you look levelled out in any direction, right, the floor can never rise in front of you like this, or like this, in any way, shape or form. The floor must descend away from you in every direction. So if you had a slight elevation and a vantage point where you angle downwards, and I'll show you the bigger ball that I have in the man cave in a wee minute, then what you would be looking at is a circle. Right? If you were angled and you look down here and you seen a curve here, you would be seeing a circle, a plane circle, not a three-dimensional curve, not a vertical curve, a circle. Right? So again, is that what they're claiming? Are they claiming they see all the way to their equator from above and you're seeing a circle? These are the questions that you have to be asking these people, because their images that they're presenting and claiming are globe earth curves are ridiculous. Now let's just see, because I asked the questions. Let me just get this up here. Let's see here. So I've asked, why do you keep ignoring the facts? Blah, blah, blah. Craig's saying he's going to deal with me in January. Apparently he's got a contract ready for me to sign and all this rubbish. What facts would these be? So, I've been asking the Dave McKeegan about, what he's claiming in regards to this, and we'll watch his little video in a second here. So rather than answer the questions, right, to his claims, he starts straw manning and trying to, change and jump to shifting the burden of proof, right, onto claims that I do not even make. How about the fact that the observations we make of the sun and moon on a daily basis can't physically work on any flat earth model? First and foremost, you do not get a direct measure of the earth by looking at the sun and moon. Secondly, you're having to start from a presupposition, a supposed model that you've created mathematically. Then you seek to interpret those intangible, visible observations to fit your preconceived, presupposed model. How did you establish what the sun is? Where is the sun? How did you establish it? Same for the moon. And also, from those red herring observations, how did you get a direct measure of the earth? Answer, you didn't. You're just a moron. So I'm saying to him, I'm not making claims about flat earth models. Stick to the topic. Do you believe you can see a vertical left to right curvature of your globe earth? Here we go. Craig McNeil. Yes, you can if you look close enough. So Craig believes that you can see a vertical left to right curvature. Even if the earth was a ball, that is absolutely preposterous and impossible. But yet again, it's no surprise that people like Craig don't comprehend three-dimensional objects and space, right? They fail at simple geometric comprehension. The horizon is equidistant around you. So that's the point I was making. If somebody's going to claim that, then what we're seeing is a circle of vision. We are seeing a lateral planar circle, even if it was a ball. That's what you would see, and I'll show you in a minute. Again, Dave McKeegan, yes. This is again to the question, is it a vertical curve we're seeing? Yes, especially when you use actual references of measuring other than it looks flat to me. Well, what units of measurement did you use, Dave? Because as far as I can tell, you've got an image that you're interpreting wrongly, then making outlandish statements about that misinterpreted image to fit your little cult bias. I think it's you that's got the problem, mate. Why do you continue to straw man me? Is it because you're a zealot? Blah, blah. Right? So I keep asking them. So if this was to fight the flat earth, the horizon equidistant around you is a plane circle, not a vertical left to right curve. Right? So let me just, so that people get this. So you see the circle, right? If you were standing in a circle and you were right in the centre, you would have an equidistant circle around you, but that would be true in a ball, right? Even if you're on a ball, because you're not seeing all the way down to the equator, you're only seeing a circle around you. You're not seeing a curvature like that, you're seeing a circle, right? So why do they keep continuing to claim that this proves their globe earth? Let me get back to that. So anyhow, they just continue to waffle and misrepresent and straw man and yada yada yada. So let me just, I'm going to need to open this one first. Let me see here. So this little video that somebody has made for me, sorry I can't remember the name right now, I will get to it. Nellis also has made little, renderings to show the preposterous, right? So let me just pause it here and show you this, right? So look, camera one is here. This is the orientation you would have to have in order to have a vertical curvature like that in front of you. Let me just check and see if I'm screen sharing. That's the only way you're going to have that, is by this orientation, right? Camera 2, same again. I mean, look at this angle, right? In order to see that. Okay? So the only way that it's possible, and I'll show you again from the little setup in the man cave, that you can get that is by orientating yourself off of the ball like this and positioning yourself so that you can have that arc in front of you like that. Only way it's possible. Let me just get my little videos up here and then we'll go to their videos and whatever else. Okay. Let me see here. See. Gets this one. This is Bublupiter, new planetoid in the wonky tonky heliosexual fantasy realm cosmology. So, here we are, right at the top of the ball. So as you see, as I'm turning, you're seeing a circle, a lateral plane circle, okay? No a vertical arc. So, here we have the vertical curvature, right? But if I turn around, you can see that I'm off of the ball, okay? So I'm away from the ball. Show you that again. Left, right, down. Okay. So if we come to the top of the ball here, and I just sit it here, right? Now this here that you think you're seeing, right, is not a vertical hump, it's the circle, okay? So if I was to just rotate you get a continuation of the circle, right? If we're going to claim that we have curvature like this, as I rotate, you see the problem. You have to be in a position off of centre. If you're on a ball, regardless of where you are, you're always, even if you're up here, you're always directly above the ball. It doesn't matter where you are, right? So then if we come out like this, here we would be seeing, so there in that position you'd have a vertical looking at the equator, right? Hump in front of you, the only way that it's possible. You know, this, what I'm talking about, this hump. So same again, if I show you what happens if I now turn left, oops. If I now turn right, whoops. If I rotate like that, this is me just rotating the camera around, you see nothing. Okay. Again here, even if I'm at the top and I'm saying I'm angled down looking, well, as I pan 360 degrees, I'm just going to show you a little bit because obviously you're going to see nothing. I'm now turning away from the ball. So this circle, this that you see here is a circle that continues all the way around. Right? You're not seeing the hump of any sphere. If people are going to claim that what they're seeing is a vertical hump here, then we have to follow that rune, and it would be the outside, like this. Right? Off of the ball. It's the only way that you can have that effect of so we can see here we have an arc. Okay, the only way that it's possible for you to have an arc in front of you like that is if you're on a cylinder or something of that shape. Right? It's the only way. It's a toilet roll earth. You can have that sort of curvature in front of you. Okay? You're going to go to the edge. Only way you're getting an arc in front of you. Same again with the circle. If I have an arc, a vertical arc in front of me like this, then you complete the circle. As you can see, I'm off of the ball or off of the circle. Same again here if I'm set it on the plate. So there you go. Is Craig McNeil and the rest of the globe earth proponents now claiming that certain flat earth proponents who claim we live on a circle are correct? Do they think we're seeing to the edge? Even if it's on their ball, do they think we're seeing the edge of a circle earth? And I rotate. You get a continuation of the circle. Right. So again, if I was angled and I started to tilt away, but if I continue on my path, I can complete the circle. Only way you can have an arc in front of you like that vertically is if you're off of the object, whether it be this, whether it be this, or whether it be this. Only way for me to have that sort of arc in front of me is if I am orientated off of the ball. Let me just see if I've got something else I can't remember. Nah, let me just stop there. So, you should be getting the gist of what I'm saying. So now let's have a listen to Dave McKeegan. Let me see here. And I've got it on double speed, right, because I'm not going to spend 8 minutes, you know, of my time. Got it on double speed and I'll pause it when it's relevant to pause, okay?
The other night, I was watching a live stream on YouTube, which I don't usually do, and it's probably an error in judgment on my part. It was a live stream, I can't remember the name of the channel, but it was one guy having a live debate against an entire Discord server of flat earthers. Now, I think the debate probably went on for a few hours, but I only watched it for about 30 minutes, because after that long, I could start to feel my brain cells dying. But it reminds...
This is another guy, this is the same old mantra, you know, people who refuse the globe earth are retards, minorities, this, that and the other. Yet these people are constantly obsessed. Constantly obsessed. It's because they're triggered and they know that they live in a fantasy realm and their little cult beliefs are being, diminished as time goes on, and they don't like it. They can't handle it. So they put this pretense up that they're superior intellectuals and vastly intelligent, blah 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 blah. When reality would be if something's that ridiculous and that stupid, why would any intelligent person waste their time on it? It just doesn't make any sense. But we know their game. These little cult disciples that are wheeled out to defend the religious ball.
Reminded me of my all-time favourite flat earth argument. And now, it's my all-time favourite because it is probably the most common argument that gets thrown out by flat earthers to try and prove that the earth is flat, and yet it actually disproves their own theory. It is, of course, I can't see the curvature. They portray it as there is no curvature, but really what they're saying is they can't see it. Now, you're probably familiar with all this anyway, but we're taught the earth's a sphere, and some people believe that that's a lie, and in fact the earth is...
So, we've got this strawman cartoonery again. The same old crap, and as you'll see, he's firing questions at me in relation to this nonsense. He's not even got the intellectual capacity to speak to an individual and on what they represent, what their actual claims are, where they're coming from. He just generalises and tries to throw everybody into one generalisation because, as we've witnessed before, all these globe earth proponents are totally illogical, irrational and bordering on absolutely insane.
Is a flat disc. And their argument to try and prove this, or one of the arguments that they used to suggest this, is if you want to stand at the seaside, looking out to sea, completely empty horizon, you can't see any curvature. Except...
Which you can't.
I think they must think, I'm borrowing this for a second, they must think the Earth's a side.
Notice again. You slow it down.
Except, I think they must think, I'm borrowing this for a second, they must think the Earth's the size of a tennis ball. You would expect to see curvature with a very small...
Notice, it's a vertical left to right curvature he's suggesting there. An arc in front of you.
Ball, because the curve...
Like, as we see here, this is a 2D circle. We're away from it, and you can see a vertical arc, right? Up and down. Vertical arc in front of your vision. Okay?
Arc is very tight. But with a very large ball, the curvature becomes...
Still, even if you're zooming in, you're off of the 2D circle. Putting it up at your eye level, so that it's orientated up at your eye level, so that you see a vertical left to right arc.
More and more gradual. There is actually a very...
absolute geometric impossibility, even if the Earth were a absurd sphere. It would be absolutely impossible. But these people don't even comprehend the geometry of the thing that they believe to be true. It's proven here.
Well-known example that someone created to explain this.
See,
using
even in
a
this situation, note where the camera is in relation to the ball. Right?
Ball and a very heavily magnified macro lens. And if you put the macro lens close enough to the surface of even a basketball, which is blindingly obviously a sphere, it appears flat. And even then, in that relative distance, if you look, that lens is a couple of centimetres above the basketball, which if you scale up that basketball to the size of the Earth, that lens is probably like a good 100 plus miles in the air, maybe even more than that. It's much higher than most weather balloons will go. So the idea of seeing a left to right curvature with the naked...
There it is again.
Of seeing a left to right curvature.
See it? Arc in front of you, left to right curvature, vertically left to right. You've seen the suggestion that he done. He never done a circle around him. He done a vertical, arc in front of the eye.
With the naked eye at sea level is frankly ludicrous. Although that doesn't mean there isn't a curvature there, because again, even this is actually provable with the right equipment. You need a very high resolution camera, and by high resolution I don't mean a 100 megapixel smartphone. I mean, a decent consumer level camera and a good optical quality lens that is able to render that sort of resolution in reasonable detail. And you have a piece of apparatus that is basically...
Now again, here we go, and he's going to prove the point. So we've got this apparent straight in front of you. Remember what I says to you about a cylinder? If there's a vertical left to right arc in front of us, you must be on a cylinder. Impossible if you're on a ball.
Two
Let's just let him dig his grave even further.
Straight bars with a line running through the middle of them, so it creates a perfectly straight line. You put the left edge of the horizon up against the left edge of the bar, the right edge of the horizon up against the right edge of the bar, and if the horizon is flat, then it should run perfectly through the center line in the middle. But it doesn't. It actually goes slightly above it because there is a very gradual curve.
Oh, there we go. Now he's utilising an effect of barrel distortion and compressing the image. You can achieve this with anything. Right? Now here again, the absurdity. This is where they don't even realise their utter stupidity. There's that arc right there in front of you. Right? Remember what I showed you about the cylindrical shaped, in the man cave. Right? The only way that's possible is if you're on a cylinder, or if you're orientated to the position that I showed you off of the ball, and orientating yourself so that the vertical hump of the ball is aligned with your eye. Okay, absolutely impossible.
Curve. It is only very, very slight, but it is there. So there is curvature visible low to the ground, but it is only very slight.
And again, the gesture of left to right.
But flat earthers like to ignore that. They go, okay, well, in that case, why don't we stick a GoPro to a weather balloon and we'll send it, 80, 90, 100,000 plus feet into the air, and we'll see if we can see some curvature there. Now, this one gets a little bit stupid because most of the time they are using things like GoPros and action cameras that use fisheye lenses. Now, those cameras use fisheye lenses because they're able to see very, very wide fields of view and they don't need to have complicated optical designs trying to correct distortion, so it allows them to be much smaller. The downside to it is that they distort straight lines, or they distort any lines for that matter. Any line that is across the center of the image, either horizontal or vertical, will be rendered as it's intended, as it's supposed to look, but any line below that center line starts to get warped in that direction, and any line above the center line gets warped in that direction. So if you have a very faint curved line, but you put it below the center line of a fisheye lens, the distortion's going to correct it, level it out. And I've genuinely seen people post me screenshots from...
We've seen all sorts of high altitude, balloon footage, and there's no distortion to the horizon. It's a straight line. Again, the whole point of this is their utter stupidity of a vertical arc appearing in front. Look at that. Absolutely insane. And then he shows this image, making the claims about the distortion in the barrel, But the centre of the screen's here. This camera is orientated to the centre, so it's looking down. So this now, as he just said, would be a straight line, right? But because it's now in the upper portion and being distorted, it looks like an arc. And the very same thing again. How can you have an arc, a vertical arc in front of you, or a ball? Impossible, son. Absolutely impossible. That would have to continue indefinitely that way and behind you. So if you look behind you, you're going to see another arc. What are you going to see when you look to the left and look to the right?
1,000 feet. And you can clearly see the curve of a pizza tray. Now, I think we can all agree, regardless of flat earther or not, I think we can all agree that that is not a sphere, okay? That is a flat disc. And yet, so if we imagine that this is the flat disc of an Earth, and I put the camera above the center of it so that you now appear to be a weather balloon floating above it.
Which is just like we see in their footage. So the same again, are they telling us that they're seeing the outer edge of their ball all the way around them? Huh? Or are they just seeing a circle? Because they're certainly not seeing a vertical arc.
That is not a flat horizon. That is curved. if you go and stand in a football field, if you go and stand in the middle of a football pitch in the centre circle...
But they're showing us geometric objects, tangible objects here that have definite curves to them and shapes. It's got nothing to do with what we're observing up there.
That is a flat circle that you are standing in the middle of. It's curved. You can't draw a straight line from it because it's an argument in the face of suggesting that the Earth is a disc.
Who's suggesting the Earth a disc? That's what you would have to be ascertain by what you're showing.
I mean, it becomes more hilarious that they haven't worked out yet that it seems in every single one of these videos of a weather balloon taking a GoPro up,
right,
the horizon is always equal distance in every direction. Doesn't matter where in the world the balloons launch from, the horizon always ends up
because the horizon's an optical phenomena. This is your problem. You're trying to claim that the horizon's a geometric aspect of your globe. Why is it in the centre of the screen? We're going to see a little, rendering in a minute of a computerised modelling. Right? Now, as I say to you, if you're in the ball has to descend 360 degrees around you. You should never have anything in the middle of your field of view like this. Ever. Right? As you elevate up, it's an increasing downwards angle you would be looking at. Right, to see the Earth sloping away from you, 360 degrees around you. You can't have anything up in the centre of your field of view. It's utterly stupid.
Equal distance in every direction. On a flat disc only happens when you're directly above the centre, which either means that every single weather balloon with a GoPro on that people are launching takes off, happens to fly thousands of miles to straight above the North Pole and up, and then when the balloon bursts, it happens to come back.
No, it's the same for him. That would all have to be at the very top of the ball and able to see the equator of their ball Earth. Right? Absolutely and utterly fucking insane. Total and utter buffoons. Where's that wee back there? What's going on? Right, where am I? So let's have a wee look at Nellis's little videos just to show you what I'm talking about. Right. It's Nellis's channel there. So let me just put this on if I go on playback, yep, slower. So Nellis has rendered this is on a level plane. And what we see is as we elevate up, it stays relatively in the centre of the field of view, right? The horizon. And as you elevate up, it remains so. And you'll see further behind objects. Okay? Because that's the reality you live in. If you go out and you make observations, that's what you witness. Right? As you elevate up, you see the ground further behind objects where you could never see the ground behind the object in the first place. And you remain level looking out. You don't angle downwards to look at this. You just remain level and elevate your position and keep looking straight out, and that's what you're going to see. The angle to your object will increase downwards as it remains fixed, but what we call the horizon does not. It remains centred, levelled to your perspective. Let's just see how it would look on a sphere now. Remember what we said? You know, what we witness is that what we call the horizon remains in the centre of the field of view. On a globe Earth, as you elevate up, it must drop. Right? Drop. As you will see here. Okay? Look. Dropping. Dropping. Because that's the geometry of a sphere. That's what would have to happen. Now, if you were looking straight out, you would see nothing. You have to angle downwards. And that's it would be increasingly so as you elevate up 360 degrees around you. Here's to Nellis for those. Let's see here. Let's have a wee look at this.
twice the weight that I normally have, and it's very difficult.
Look at this. Globe earthers.
Twice the weight that I normally have, and it's very difficult to do a perfect exit. Do not over.
Look at the absurdity of this curve here. A supposed vertical left to right curve. I'm getting back to the orientation. What are you actually looking at here? Because this would just have to be a circle of the vision, right? That's it. Whatever's going on with these cameras are distorting the straight line. So it's not a vertical curve. It's distorting that into a circular.
Rotate. Because if I start over rotating, there's no air that you can use.
Oh, clap and cheer. Right,
First 25 seconds.
Oh,
it looked.
It's concave there. Concave.
Seconds. It looked like everything's under control. And after 34 seconds, I hit Mach 1 and I broke the speed of sound.
Was that him?
Let's see what else. Somebody's flight. As I'm saying, there is the horizon straight out in front of you. No way down here, as it should be on a globe earth. In the centre of the screen. Should be away down here. Let me see what else I've got here. Again, I'm just flogging a dead horse, labouring on the absolute absurdity of these crackpots. I've got new comments. Just shut up and watch the views of Earth from Orion. Watch your TV. Watch your TV and believes what you see in your TV, because that's the truth. See if I get any responses from Craig McNeil. So, is it a vertical left to right? Craig's saying yes again. Craig is saying yes. I just said yes. There is left to right curve because the horizon is below your POV. What? What? How can it be a vertical left to right curve? A vertical one, Craig? It's impossible. Equidistant around you as it's a 2D circle. Right, so it's not a ball then. It'll appear flat over if it's at eye level, if the horizon is at eye level. What are you talking about? He's talking about like a hula hoop. And if you put the hula hoop flat and look at it level with your eyes, it'll look like a straight line. But and then if you elevate above it, you're going to see a circle, a lateral circle, a circle, not the curve, the vertical curve of a ball, as you professed a minute ago in your opening comment. If the horizon is below eye level, it'll appear curved left to right. It's not a vertical curve. And it should be there all the time and never change. This is what we expected to go. Match's predictions. It's impossible, Craig. Josh Lays, another absolute fuckwit. Just shut up and watch the views of Earth from Orion. Ooh, because I'm a pure intellectual. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Let's just get rid of that Dave. Dave McKeegan is just another globe earth priest who knows absolutely nothing about actual reality. Right? And cherry picks things to fit his little fucking cult bias. Same as Mr. Sensible and his mage. Same question to him. Vertical, left to right curves. How's that possible? Dim dim. Look. Oh, egg drop from space. Look, here's my curve. Here's my curvy. Curve of what? Again, another vertical curve. Huh? You comprehend the orientation you must be in order to have that vertical curve. Or are we now back to toilet roll earthers? I just lose interest halfway through because it's just totally and utterly fucking stupid. Honestly. As long as the people who are honest get it, that's what I give a fuck about, because these morons are only there to be ridiculed. I've invited any of these fuckwits to come and, you know, explain their derp, but as usual, nothing. Any questions? Is there anybody under any sort of influence that still thinks you're seeing a curve like that in front of you? I suggest you get outside off of the YouTubes and start playing with three-dimensional objects and shapes and comprehending what things would actually look like if you did live on a sphere, because it's not the way they're showing you. Every single one of these images that they are showing you are debunked. Every single one of them. Kaz, how you doing, mate? Yeah, in the cinema you get a curved lens projecting to a flat screen. Yep. Pragmatic. Globals can't answer this one. If I were to dig a hole down to Australia, which way would I come out? Feet first or head first, and how does that work? You just don't understand. My imaginary gravity is at the centre of my presupposed imaginary sphere. And as you go down towards that, then it reverses when you get to the other side. You would never fall out the bottom because gravity would stop you. It would shook you into the chewy gobstopper centre, into oblivion. Nice one, Matthew. So as I say, you know, every single one of their images of what they're claiming has been debunked here. It's just a matter of people comprehending simple geometry, having three-dimensional, you know, awareness of their space and objects within it and how things would actually appear. You know, the only you know way you're getting a vertical art in front of you is by having objects away from you like this at your eye level, or as I say, if you were walking on a cylinder, you would see a continued arc like that in front of you as you traversed it. But if you turn left and right, you're fucked. You're going to fall off. Anyhow, I'm busy this evening, so I'm on to do this and then I'm going to get off. So any questions, anything you want to say or want me to mention, then by all means now's your opportunity for the next 5 minutes or so. I'm going to be getting. So Craig McNeil's affirmed it for us. He believes in left to right vertical curvature, which debunks his whole premise, but that's how stupid he is. Zach, good stuff. I say, you know, I hope everybody else picks up on this, because if you contemplate it and you demonstrate it, it's you can show that every one of these images that they're showing you are debunked. What they're going to do now, they're going to have to change their whole rhetoric. Huh? They have to. Pragmatic, cheers, same to yourself. Right, well, if people grasp it, that's fine. No other questions coming, so hopefully we see other people representing this and presenting it and showing it up, because as I say, there's absolutely no doubts that debunks every single one of the images that they're showing you and the videos. Geometric impossibility. Time to move the goalposts again. Exactly, Zach, exactly. Right,